Hello, you can call me Fur, and this is Hyperlight Drifter New Game Alt Any %. New Game Alt Any % is a lot like regular Any %, but the main difference is we're playing as this new character called the Old Drifter. Essentially, they play a lot like the regular Drifter, but they are faster. They move faster, dash faster, attack faster, and they don't even have to worry about cough cutscenes, so they're faster in that way too. So we're going to be playing through the game as them, while taking roughly the same route as we would in Any %. So the first thing in Any % we need to worry about are 12 bits. We don't have any upgrades, and there's one upgrade we want for the run. That upgrade is the chain dash upgrade. So to get that upgrade, we're going to be finding these 12 little yellow bits. The first one is right here. Basically, those will let us purchase the chain dash upgrade once we finish north and head back to town. The two other things we need to get are for game completion. The first one are modules. Modules are these pink little diamond shaped things that are hidden in each area. And the next thing we need to worry about are pillars. These pillars are hidden behind the main boss in each area, and are again just something you need to activate to be able to access the final boss of the game. Alright. So now that all that's covered, I'm going to be talking about a trick we're going to be doing here shortly. Basically, whenever you activate a module in the game, a small cutscene wants to play, like showing you pretty much acquiring it. But there's a little trick we can do to get around this. This is called select buffering. Basically, by opening and closing the map during the module animation, we can move around and buffer inputs between opening and closing the map. So we're going to be doing it here. Since that was the first module of the game, I needed to do a separate thing by pausing the game to prevent a different cutscene from playing. Whoops. There's another bit we need to get up here. Alright, so now's a good time to explain combat because we're going to be doing it soon. Basically, by shooting right before we do our melee attack, we can pretty much do double damage. In the community we call it plinking. So it's going to make fights go really fast. These guys only have 2 health, and I'm pretty much going to kill them all in one hit. Alright, so now I'm going to be doing the same select buffering strategy on a 4th bit. You can only do that on 4th bits because that's the only bit that the only bit that the cutscene will play. Sorry. One bit right there. There's another bit we're going to be getting up here. We have to be kind of careful in our movement so we don't get killed by these guys. That room can be kind of intimidating, but it's not hard to avoid that attack as long as you plan your movement. Alright, so now we're going to be doing an out of bounds. Basically all I had to do there was step just into the arena, and then after that I walked back, and as a barrier was filling to get me trapped in there, I just used that barrier to walk out of bounds. So now we're doing a trick called Clippy. Basically, by jumping off the edge and activating that module at the same time, I tricked the game into thinking my height was something that it's not. So as long as I remain in this room, I can flip through some walls. So doing that, I just got back here with some select buffering and activated the pillar of this area. By doing that, we essentially just skipped the north boss. Alright, gonna do more bit select buffering. Grab another bit down here. Alright, so we're going to be going down here, grabbing 2 more modules and 3 more bits. We're going to be doing some more out of bounds, and that makes now the perfect time to talk about how out of bounds works in this game. Basically, whenever you're out of bounds, the game realizes you shouldn't be there and starts playing a kill timer, so if you were to get stuck there casually, you're not just trapped and have to restart the game. But there are ways to reset that kill timer. The main way we do it in the speedrun is by sitting down and standing up. But there are a few other ways we can do it. The only other practical way to do it is by activating a health pack, which I think I will actually be doing up here, so I can be at full health going into the next room. So here we're going to just open that door and use it to walk out of bounds. I had to sit down there because whenever you take a whenever you take a fourth health pack, when you have the maximum amount, which is by default 3, it heals you automatically. So we're going to be doing a clip similar to the barrier clip from earlier. And that let us clip into this arena. Save a little bit of time. The difference was only one enemy. And now we're going to do a door clip here to skip this arena. This arena is really long, so it's a good thing we can skip it. Then we activate the last module and teleport back to town. So back at town, we're going to be doing another door clip. This one is a bit trickier because we can't really just walk right out of bounds. Alright, so we got it. We're going to be doing that every time we come back to town, and that's because there is a cutscene that plays at the base of the steps. And if we skip that cutscene every time, we're just going to be able to save time. So now we have the chain dash upgrade, so let's talk a little bit about chain dash movement. So now that we have this upgrade, we have stamina. You can see it in the top left corner along with my health packs and ammo. I don't actually need that, but force of habit, I accidentally got it. But basically, there are two ways. There's a few main ways we're going to be moving with chain dash. The first is in sets of 2. This is typically the fastest way to move, which is, well, it's not the fastest way, but it conserves the most stamina. Sets of 3 is faster than sets of 2, but you can bonk, and it also takes up more stamina. And full chain dashes can be the fastest, but whenever you're in a chain dash higher than 4, you are going to slide unless you hit a dash reset, which is pretty much dashing and hitting like the ledge of something. That's the easiest way I can think of to explain it. Alright, so here we're going to be doing more select buffering. Want to be careful not to fall here. Whoops, accidentally bonked. What I did there is I activated that elevator as I was walking over it. That allowed me to not be on it when I activated it. Just a very small time save you can do to optimize. Alright, I'm going to be trying to do a hard dash reset here. I didn't have enough stamina to get it, but doing that slide really didn't waste much time, so I should still be fine. So coming down here, we're going to be doing another arena. This one we cannot skip. And basically we're just going to be plinking these enemies. And clearing it. Now that we've cleared it, we can do a trick called red door clip. Basically, as this red door reforms, we're going to walk into it and dash out of bounds. It can be kind of hard to time sometimes, but we got it there. Alright, we're going to be doing another one down here. The purpose of doing this one is to do the first half of skipping the arena that's in front of us, as well as to get to a door we would not be able to normally get through, because we need a key. Alright, so there's a module in here we're going to be collecting, and then we're going to be coming out. This room can be kind of dangerous sometimes. I'm going to do a little damage boost off of that, just to skip that fire cycle. I have to be wary of the fire cycles before I start select buffering, so that's part of what makes the select buffering in this room really hard. Alright, now we're going to be doing another out of bounds. This one's probably the hardest one in the run, but it looks like I'm getting at a good pace. Yep, that was really good. Okay, so now that we've done that, there's only really 2 tricks left in this section. I'm going to explain one of them now, and basically what it is a mid-air dash reset, which is going to let us do a dash in mid-air. It's pretty much just a damage boost. So I'm going to be hitting an enemy's projectile mid-air at the end of my dash, and after hitting it, I'm going to dash again and clear a large gap you would not normally be able to clear. By doing that, we just completely avoid taking a side section, which would mean we'd have to fight a few more arenas. So overall, it's just a pretty awesome skip that saves a good amount of time. I'm going to be doing it in here. I'm actually going to heal before I do it, because if I mess up, there's a chance I will die. Alright, he gave us a good shuriken, and we got it. I'm gonna grab this health pack before we enter the boss. And now we're going to be doing the boss skip. This trick can be kind of hard, so I'm going to focus first before I explain it. Basically, I'm going to be going up to the top right here, and then... Ooh, that hasn't happened in a long time. Alright, I have some time to explain it now. Basically, I'm going to be heading into the top right, and then dashing up here, getting in a specific spot, and then dashing at a specific angle. Missed it that time. Hopefully I can get it this next time. Healing just in case though. Alright, I got it that time. That should have still been faster than fighting the boss, but only by a small margin, because that's a really fast boss fight. So now that we've done that, we've activated the pillar, and the last module is really close. We can pick up the shotgun, because that's the only weapon useful to us in the speedrun, and we can do the same select buffering trick we use on modules to move during a small little cutscene that plays. Alright, so now we're teleporting back to town. Alright, so now we gotta do one more door flip here. This one can be kind of tricky. Alright, yeah, I got stuck. There is, you have to be very careful with where you dash when you do that out of bounds, because there are areas on each side of you where you can get stuck out of bounds, and the only way to get unstuck is to teleport back to town or close the game to the main menu and then reopen it. The faster way is to go to the main menu and reopen, so that's what we do if we mess it up. Alright, so now we're in the west. We're gonna get to see a few new tricks that we haven't seen yet in the run, so I'll be getting those soon. Excuse me. This part is pretty much just a section where you want to make sure you dash well. But after this room, we're going to be doing something new called a transition flip. Basically, by dashing at a specific angle into this transition zone, as soon as we enter it, we can flip into where the transition zone should be and go out of bounds. Then after that, we go out of bounds into that arena, and there's a little piece of the transition zone sticking out past that tree, so we can just skip that next arena too. Alright, so now that I'm back here, after doing one of those block clips, I'm going to be doing something new called a crystal clip. Basically, by bonking as that crystal reforms, I can clip inside of it and walk out of bounds. Alright, so here's something fun if I can get it. That's pretty much called slip and slide. By firing a shotgun in the opposite direction you are sliding, you can slide a really long distance, and while you're doing that, you can also activate that teleport pad. That's the fastest way to activate it, as far as I can tell. And you get to do a fun little slide while doing it. Alright, so down here we're going to be doing another crystal clip. This one's a bit easier than the first one, because you don't have to keep as steady, because as long as you're up against this wall, you will get it. You basically can't be too far to the right, but you can't be too far to the left, unlike the other one, where you can be too far on each side and miss it. Alright, so we're doing some more select buffering there. We're going to head up. So already we've pretty much gotten all the tricks in the west except the boss skip. So what we have left here is just pretty much us doing the best we can to move good and efficiently. There's a little bit of scary movement coming up in the next room, and it's on a bridge with a ton of these crystal things that come up and hurt you if you mess up, so we need to not mess up. Alright, so bonking is the only acceptable way to mess up there, so that's good, because they will not damage you when you're stunned from the bonk. Whoops, I dashed a little bit too late after that cutscene, so I fell. Okay, so we activated the 3 module door. Now we just need to dash through these rooms. You want to be careful not to bonk in those rooms, because if you bonk, those enemies can combo you to death, and there will be just nothing you can do about it. It's a really sad way to die in a run, because it's very preventable. Alright, so now we're at the boss skip. Basically, I'm going to be charging up my dash, sliding into this position in the top right, breaking both these crystals with my shotgun, and then falling off the edge. By doing this, I'm pretty much... Ooh, I messed it up. Alright. I can still get this, though. I took the out of bounds a bit too sharp. Alright, this is going to be a bit slow. I had to avoid one of his animations. Ooh, and I had bad health. That's my fault. I thought I only took 1 damage there. I guess I didn't have full health going into the fight. That's my bad. This trick is fast though, so we can get it quickly, and it might just be a bit easier to do it this way. Alright, that time we didn't accidentally flip back in bounds. We can get back here to the teleporter and teleport back to the teleport pad we activated earlier in west. Doing this because there is one more module we need to get. We get this last just because it's faster to teleport out of this one back to town. And in regular 80%, it prevent a cutscene that I'm actually not sure plays in this version. I've never actually tried. So yeah, we're gonna teleport back. Even though we took that death in West Boss, we're still on a decent pace. Alright, so now we're going to head to the south. This section, if done right, can be done in about 4 minutes, which is pretty incredible. It's also the last section we have to go to in the speedrun, because you need to activate the pillar in each other area before you can go here. Alright, so we're going to be doing 2 more transition clips here. And both of them are actually on this transition zone. We got the first one, but unfortunately the second one can be a bit hard to get sometimes. Hopefully we'll get it on first try though. Sorry if I'm coughing, my throat's a bit sore. Alright, so we just activate that and teleport back to the south teleport pad. We're going to be doing this one more time, except this time it is to activate the pillar. Like I said, this one can be a bit hard sometimes, so bear with me if it takes me a few tries. I don't think we know why it doesn't like to work as much as the other ones. Alright, but there, we got it. Alright, so we want to sit at least once in this out of bounds. You should be able to do it without sitting, but if you try and take it too fast, it's really easy to flip back in bounds, and if you do that, you're just going to waste a ton of time. Alright, so now we have 3 modules left to get. We have an option of where we can go first, but I'm going to choose to go to the Dash Challenge module first. Basically what we have to do in here is a small little challenge of a full chain dash to get to the module. Then we can teleport out. Now we have 2 more modules to get. These rooms you have to go through to get them can be really hard. And if you die, it can be a pretty decent time loss. Luckily, there are pretty consistent ways to get through them, so let's just do our best. Alright, so first we just gotta come over here, shotgun plink that guy, and avoid all those other ones. Alright, so we're going to be coming up to this red door. We're going to shotgun plink both these enemies, and while we're opening the door, we're going to be attacking those jerks, which are the small green enemy. So there's less that come into this room, as well as it makes it harder for them to hit us. Because if you hit them while they're jumping at you, they're going to be deflected backwards. Alright, so now we have the last red door clip of the run. This is going to be to get to our last module. Just bear with me while I try and get it. Sometimes red door clips can be kind of hard to get. You just gotta give them a few tries. Ooh, I almost clipped back in bounds there, that was close. Alright, this area is scary just because of that one rocket guy. Okay. Whoops. Ooh, this is risky. Alright, but we made it out of there in time. We don't have to worry about them anymore now that we've activated the module and teleported out. Okay. Now we can head to the final boss. This section of the game is just trying to have some clean dashes. And then we get to the room with the final boss and we fight him. The way we fight him is by doing something called shotgun plinking. Shotgun plinking is a lot like normal plinking, where you have to do one extra thing. So you shoot your shotgun, and right after that you do your melee attack, and then you press a B twice to swap off the shotgun and swap back onto the shotgun. Basically this auto reloads the shotgun and lets us fire it a ton of times really fast and do a crazy amount of damage. Dang, I tried to have a fast dash pattern there, but I used a bit too much stamina. Alright, do a full dash through this room, activate this, and enter the final boss fight. There are 3 phases to this fight, and in the middle of each phase we're going to be hitting these little crystals he makes to regain ammo. Alright, so we can start shotgun plinking. So we got that. Break these to regain ammo. and kill more. Regain some more ammo. Move away from the crystals so when they explode they don't hurt us. And then we kill him. You have to be careful dashing out of this room because you can bonk and lose time. But at the full fade to Belak, we complete the run. So that was Hyper Light Drifter, new game alt any %. I hope you enjoyed.